All right, so back here again with Cristi The Dietitian. How do you like having your own little title now? I mean, you're technically a doctor, but I mean, I think this is bigger. I mean, this is you got your own persona now. You're Cristi The Dietitian.
I know, I like it. When I call people at work, I always say, "This is Cristi The Dietitian."
Well, now you're international. So, yeah. Dr. Cristi is back here to talk about 90 Day Fiance again. And this is big because this is 2 episodes worth of the tell-all, right? So the second episode of the tell-all was last night. That's why we waited an extra day to talk about this. So we got a lot to get into here, don't we?
Yeah, it's really good.
We're going to get into everybody on the show except for Jeffrey and Varia, because for some reason they're not on this. But we've got a lot of ground to cover here. The tell-all is where everybody goes on the show and basically gives an update on their relationships after the show. Mm-hmm. And because of the coronavirus and everything, they weren't allowed to be in the same room, so this was all done through like some sort of video chat. And everybody's on here together just going after each other. Ed and David got into it. Sorry, I had a varmint run through. Ed and David got into it on the tell-all. All the women got into it at one point. Mm-hmm. What's the first thing that sticks out in your mind, and we'll go from there on the tell-all. What was your favorite part of both episodes?
Oh, I didn't know you were going to ask me this.
Well, I asked the hard-hitting questions.
I know. My favorite part was probably Usman. Did I say that right?
Well, everybody says it differently, so it doesn't matter.
He and Lisa, I liked a lot of the stuff that he said. But I got another good part too. Okay, when he was talking about getting another wife because he didn't know if she'd be able to have a kid.
That was a big deal. That was a big, I would say a bigger deal to everybody else than it was to Lisa, which surprised the crap out of me.
I know. Because she's not going to be able to have a baby. She's 50-something years old.
Yeah.
She's probably not going to be able to.
Yeah, the odds aren't in her favor. And apparently they've already talked about this.
Yeah.
Lisa, I think there was a little bit of a miscommunication on the subject because Lisa was not under the impression that Usman would have another wife just like her.
Right.
From my understanding from watching the tell-all, it seemed kind of like Lisa was under the impression that this would just be like a
surrogate.
Yes.
Kind of.
Like a almost like a deposit slip for Usman. Because he wants to have a baby.
Right.
So, if you're picking up what I'm putting down, so, the other people on the show.
Oh, let me tell you that this was another juicy part. This was on the second part of the tell-all. Was that apparently? Oh, what's his name? The British guy.
Tom.
Yeah. Tom apparently had been hitting on Avery after she broke up with
on all of them. He was hitting on all of them.
He was, but
even Lisa.
Well, I don't think he was hitting on him. I think he was just being nice. But it got a little bit juicy because Ash lied to Avery and said that Tom had sent him a screenshot of their conversation or something like that. Anyway,
I don't even know if I believe that. I think I might have to take his side on this.
Whose side?
Ash.
Ash said that he lied to her.
He admitted that on the show?
Yes.
I'm gonna have to rewind the tape and watch it.
No, he admitted that he lied.
I'm gonna have to go back and verify that.
Yeah, well, you can.
Okay. Well, for the sake of this, I'll take your word for it now.
Okay.
But, still, Tom is a piece of trash. I mean, let's be honest. I think we can both agree on that.
I like Tom.
Well, all right, well.
I do. I think he's honest. I think he's
been very dishonest on this show.
Really?
Yeah.
Like what?
Like with Darcy and the girl that he went and started dating for a month.
Yeah.
And he blatantly lied about it. But I guess you can sweep that under the rug.
Oh, I don't know that he really lied about it.
He definitely lied about it. He wasn't truthful. That's a lie.
I know what a lie is, but I don't think he lied about that. When she asked him about it, he said yes.
No, that's not how it went. He was trying his hardest to hide all the information from Darcy about whatever, Tina or whatever her name is.
Yeah, Shannon.
Shannon, okay. But he didn't want to admit to it. That's just as bad as stretching the truth or lying. If you're asked about it by your significant other, you be honest about it. That's how I feel about it.
She asked him, and he told her.
Yeah, she had to pry it out of him.
Yeah.
You can't trust a man like that.
Yeah.
But anyway, he has tried to go on a date with every woman on the show, except for Yolanda. So...
Yeah, I wonder why he didn't reach out to Yolanda.
Well, I don't think we need to get into that right now.
Okay.
Maybe a little too controversial for the times. I don't know. But we don't want to get into any speculation. But Stephanie is the one that he really wanted, apparently.
Yeah.
Even Lisa. He had a lot of compliments for Lisa, which does not seem like Tom's type whatsoever.
No.
But speaking of Yolanda, she... I think still believes that Williams, I don't get that.
I don't get that either.
I think she still believes he's real.
Yeah, I mean, I think she realizes he's not British. Or wasn't that what he... Yeah, that he's not in London or wherever he was supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
And, but I think that she just had... You know, she started seeing him. He's the first person she's really been interested in since her husband died. And so I think she just built a connection with this person.
Yeah, I mean, she probably doesn't even have a concept for being catfished or how any of this kind of stuff works. So she's very gullible from what I can tell.
Yes. Because she was married for many years. I can't remember how many. But
how many kids does she have? Like 5 with her husband that passed away?
Yeah. They were married for like 30-something years, I think, or 40 years.
And the daughter, I feel bad for the daughter because she's just... The way she just looks at her mom when they're talking about all this stuff, I mean, she just looks like she's had enough.
That's because she knows her mama sent dirty pictures to that guy.
Yeah.
You don't want to know that about your mom.
Well, yeah, that's true. But anyway, I mean, it just goes with the territory in this day and age. So, I mean, it is what it is. But I think we can all agree that the Williams is not real.
No.
What?
I mean, I think he's a real person, but he's not who he says he is.
What intrigued me was when Usman came in, because he's Nigerian. They say that they believe Williams is a Nigerian scammer. And he had a lot of information to give about the
detective, yeah.
Yes, and Usman doesn't believe that he had Williams had a Nigerian accent.
Yeah.
Doesn't believe that he sounds like a true Nigerian. He said basically that if he hasn't gotten anything from Yolanda by now, that he would move on to someone else and be done with her.
Yeah.
So that adds another layer to the story, and so.
And I do think Yolanda is one of my favorite people on there because she's just so sweet, and I feel like she's very innocent. She's got this real innocence about her. But I wonder if she hadn't been sending him money and just isn't telling about it. Because why would he stay with her for as long as he did? 7 months or something? And he wasn't getting anything?
It's a very real possibility. You can, I don't know. I don't know about this Yolanda. I don't know about her.
Is that what I said?
You almost did.
Oh, okay.
But let's see, who else? Ed and Rosemarie.
Oh gosh.
We got some more dirt on Ed. Apparently, he tried to pay Rosemarie to strip on video for him.
Mm-hmm. And I believe he did that. I don't think she's lying about that.
Now, here's my question: if you're in a relationship with someone and you
I think this was early on.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So why do you, if that was so bad and so offensive to Rose, if it was early on in the relationship, why would she still keep trying with Ed?
I think she probably enjoyed the money.
So does she have a right to be upset?
I think that I think that what was happening was he was painting a picture of her being a certain way, and she was just trying to point out, look, he's this way too. What was he saying he was?
That after they broke up, she was trying to contact him, and
Oh yeah, that's right.
yeah, and
Yeah.
She, after they broke up, she started seeing a girl,
Yeah.
and she got very distraught during this tell-all.
She did. She got real upset.
And she just kept getting mad during the video chat. Ed's daughter was part of the video chat. This was the first time that they spoke to each other. Ed's daughter and Rose.
And here's the thing, I don't get that. Ed was going, okay, if I'm with Rose, then I basically can't be with my daughter, because that makes me feel like the daughter says, if you do this, I'm out of your life. I can't imagine ever doing that over something like this. I mean, if it was murder or something like that, I can see that. But just because you don't agree with who your parent is wanting to see or date, and then you're never going to have anything to do with them again, I don't understand that. I don't understand the daughter being that way.
Yeah, I mean, it is strange, I got to say, because Ed was trying to be with someone younger than his daughter.
Yeah.
As we said, Ed's daughter could have been Rose's babysitter.
Yeah.
I mean, that is a little odd.
And Ed's daughter is attractive. I think she's really pretty.
What are you trying to say? He should date his daughter?
No.
Have some decency.
No, I'm talking about Ed is not a super attractive man. So it kind of surprised me.
Well, what
that
makes you
his
think
daughter-
that? What's wrong with Ed?
Just his shape. It really, just the way he's built is just odd, different.
Well, he can't help that. And what about his personality?
I don't like his personality either.
It sounds like your opinion's jaded because he's built like Shrek. But, I mean, he spends a lot of money on Hellman's mayonnaise to make himself look better.
Yeah.
Because
He was a little troublemaker on the tell-alls.
yes, watching him and David go at it was hilarious.
Oh, it was so
And I think Ed raised some really good points about David. I don't trust David. David seems like a psychopath.
Yeah.
He seems like if Alana, at the end of the day, doesn't come be with him forever, that he could probably find her and kill her. That's the vibe I get from David. He seems like a psychopath.
He's weird. He is weird. I don't know about killing anybody, but yeah, he's very strange. A strange, weird man. And their whole relationship was weird. He proposed to her and hadn't seen her or talked to her in 6 days.
Yeah.
And he says they're not together anymore.
Yeah, I didn't understand that, because he said that they were engaged, but that they weren't together. That doesn't make sense to me.
No.
But he confessed that he's been on this dating business, this dating app, which used to be a catalog. That's how long he's done it, since 94, 95. The same company that has this app now. He used to pay to look at pictures. I don't know what he was talking about. But he said,
and they brought in, what was that guy's name that they brought in?
some past member of 90 Day Fiance. I don't know
his name though. He never met the girl, but then he finally did. But anyway, that's not really don't matter.
Yeah, we found out that David has spent, I think he said,
$250,000 to $300,000.
yes, on going to the Ukraine to meet women that he's met on this website. So that's aside from Lana.
Yeah.
And he says he's talked or had relations of some sort with probably over 1,000 women on this website.
Yeah. That's sad. That is so sad.
Yeah, I mean, it makes you wonder, has he had relations with anybody like in the real world at all?
Probably not. He probably spends all his time and energy on those websites and stuff.
I want to know what he does for a living to be able to afford all of this stuff.
I know it.
He lives in Las Vegas. He could have just, had a really good night at the casino and gotten rich or something, I guess.
Yeah.
But I haven't seen where he has a job at all.
I don't know. He's got to. I don't know. I don't have a clue either. But to be able to spend that kind of money, it's crazy.
So, of course, we haven't heard from Lana because nobody knows how to contact her, apparently.
Oh, and then he bought her a phone, and she told him that she couldn't use the phone because her nails were too long to operate the iPhone. So he's not able to talk to her anymore.
Yeah, that's a crock, if you ask me. I mean, it's a lie. One lie after excuses.
He's probably sold that phone and that ring.
Yep, and probably with the next David, or the next 3 or 4 Davids. Stephanie and the other girl. I don't remember her. Erica. Stephanie and Erica. Yeah. Of course, the bisexual couple on the show. Erica from Australia. The most, I would say, tumultuous relationship on the show this season. You like that word, tumultuous?
I did like that.
Yeah. It was confrontational from the start. Stephanie, very erratic behavior on the show.
Yes, she has got I think she's got hormonal issues. Because one minute she's yelling, the next minute she's crying. But Erica's does that too. Mm-hmm. They are the cryingest little couple.
Yeah, and Stephanie had friends on that acted just like Stephanie.
Yes, they did.
So even if she's not hormonal, maybe just being around people that are like that so much has affected her mentally. I don't know. But the friends did not go easy on Erica either.
No.
Made her cry. Of course, I don't think that's very hard to do.
I feel like that Erica was the most mature out of the two.
For sure.
Yeah. And, I mean, at one point during the tell-all, what's her name again? Stephanie. Stephanie's friend was going off. She had been drinking. And,
she was highly inappropriate on the show.
Yeah, and just yelling and whatnot. And then Stephanie goes, "You're scary. You're scaring me. You're scary." Talking like that. It was so weird. It bothered me. Because she's like a 30-something-year-old woman.
I don't think she's that old.
That's not old.
Well, I'm saying I think she's younger than that.
Okay.
Yeah, I think she's early 20s is what I...
Well, she said she was a stripper when she was in her early 20s.
Well, that's another thing, Stephanie's just got issues.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with doing that for a living.
She didn't have any money, and so she found herself in a situation where she had to dance.
Yes, and I think a combination of all these different things has affected her mentality. But yes, Erica was very composed during this whole thing.
And I think she's so pretty, Erica.
Oh.
Her face, I mean, just the way she does her makeup and her hair. I mean, I wouldn't want my hair like that. But
well, she looks like a coloring book to me.
Oh.
But, I mean, for the kind of guy that likes that kind of thing, that's the kind of thing that kind of guy likes. That's what I say. Yeah. So, to each his own.
It would have to be a girl for her because she's lesbian.
And Stephanie is bisexual.
Yeah.
Oh, well, no, Erica is too.
Bisexual.
Yeah, that was a big thing because of the guy at the party.
Yeah, that's right. You're right.
Yeah. So it's just it's a rocky road relationship.
Yeah. And you got to think, if you're with somebody that's bisexual, you've got to worry about girls and guys hitting on them.
Yes.
It makes it twice as hard.
Yes, especially, and this is where I sympathized with Stephanie, because they were at a party with all of Erica's friends, where several of those friends are people that she's had relationships with.
Yeah.
So
how do you struggle with that? Or how do you relate? What'd you say?
Well, I don't know what I said, but I can sympathize with Stephanie for being in that situation.
Well, I mean, I think it says a lot about Erica that she can still maintain friendships with these people.
But here's the thing: the guy was open and honest about his feelings towards Erica.
He said he loved her.
Yeah. So if I were in that situation, if I were Stephanie, I'd be uncomfortable there too. Because while Erica might not have those intentions, she's welcoming someone in as a friend who does have those intentions.
He never really said he had those intentions, though. He actually said he didn't.
Well, the male species is one that you can never be too careful with.
Okay.
That's how I feel about it. But finally, we've got Darcy. Darcy is still, she's not having Tom.
No. And I thought Darcy looked really good. She got her lips back down to normal, I feel like. Didn't she?
She does look like she's had one or two more procedures than her twin sister. I'll say that.
Yeah, she looked good. She was looking good. They normally look just alike, though. But, yeah, you're right. They looked a little bit different this time. I think she's doing good. I don't think she was drinking last on that show, which sometimes she does, and she gets a little bit emotional. But she held it together.
Yeah, and we've seen in the quarantine and things like that, we've seen Darcy at home with her two daughters, and
yeah.
I think they have a pretty healthy relationship, and that kind of translates, I think. And I think Darcy seems pretty nice. And when you look at Darcy, I know when I saw Darcy for the first time, I saw all the obvious procedures and things like that.
What were they?
Well, the lips.
Oh, okay.
And, you know, I'm sure other additions. But, you know, I can't confirm or deny that. But when you see things like that, you get a preconceived notion about how someone's personality might be. And then also the fact that Darcy's been on this show for how many years now?
Several.
All these things start adding up, and you're like, wow, this person seems kind of sketchy. But watching her at home with her daughters and watching them just hang out together, I think it's been pretty nice.
Yeah. She seems like she has it more together now than I've seen her in years. Or however long, I don't know.
Well, good for Darcy.
Yeah. I'm happy for Darcy.
Yep, and I am too. And as far as I can tell, of course, we're never prepared for this. I think we've covered everybody.
Yeah, and I will say, Tom was looking good too. When Tom first came on the show.
That's why you feel like you can trust him. It's clouding your judgment. See, yeah. Tom cannot be trusted. He's not a good person. Get that out of your head.
I do like Tom, though. I think he is. I mean, other than cheating on Darcy, which is a pretty big deal, I just like how open he is with everybody.
Well, I think he's a snake. I don't think he can be trusted. And the fact that you would choose Tom over Ed just clouds my judgment of you right here. But anyway, to each his own, I guess. And just for the record, I take pride in knowing that I'm nothing like Tom. So.
Oh, well, good.
Yeah, well. All right, so that just about does it. Another exciting edition of this review of 90 Day Fiance.
What are we going to do when we're not going to... It's over.
I guess we'll have to find another show to talk about.
Yeah. Or they may have another one coming on, but I would highly doubt it just because of the quarantine.
A 90 Day Fiance's got like 6 shows on the channel right now.
Yeah.
So we can find something to talk about, I guess. But, yep, next week I think is the last tell-all. Is that right?
No, it's over.
No, there's another one next Monday.
What?
Yeah, the third tell-all.
Oh, I didn't know there was a third.
Yeah, I didn't know there was going to be a second one. And we were watching the second one, and then it showed a preview for the third one.
Oh, I didn't realize that.
So next Monday will be the final. Well, I don't know if it's going to be. Who knows? Who knows what's happening? But next week will be the third tell-all, so we will talk about that one. This episode is a couple of days late because there were 2 episodes this week, so that's why it's later.
I did hear something about, or I read something about Jeffrey and Varya.
Really?
Yeah. You want me to tell you?
Sure.
Well, I read, and this is just what I was reading, that he has other criminal charges. One being domestic violence.
Towards Varya?
No, but the show got a lot of heat for having him on there.
Oh.
And so that's why they asked him not to come to the tell-all.
Oh.
I don't know if that's true or not, but I did read that.
I did see a mugshot online,
Yeah.
and it didn't look like the one they showed on the TV show.
Oh, really?
It looked newer.
Okay. Yeah.
But I also did see something else about Jeffrey and Varia. And
Oh. Yeah.
and,
tell me about that.
yeah, so, and I guess we've got time. We can go ahead and talk about it. I saw, and this is all rumor and innuendo, I don't know if it's true or not, I saw a picture that led me to believe that Jeffrey and Varia might be having a baby. So,
You know what? When I saw that thing about the domestic violence, I kind of saw some things in him that I could, if it's true, that I could almost see.
really?
Yeah, he was controlling, in my opinion. Wanted to control every aspect of their relationship. How it went, what he, and then she says, not now to the proposal, and he just ups and leaves and is done.
Well, and I think you're onto something with the control thing.
Yeah.
I can see that too. But I would be upset too if I proposed and, was told not now. I mean, it would be an upsetting thing for me,
Yeah,
personally.
but you would never just leave and be done.
You don't think I would?
No.
Well.
You would never act like that.
Well, that's what Jeffrey did, and apparently he's had a troubled past. Maybe he's in trouble now. Nobody knows. But maybe by this time next week, we can have more information. I'll personally go and investigate this and see what I can come up with. I'll see what kind of dirt I can throw on the pile here next week. But that does it for this week. That is this week's 90-Day Fiance review, the tell-all. And next week will be the third tell-all, possibly the final one. I don't know. But we'll find out next week here on YouTube. Thanks for listening.